It's Khadija here with Nursekayexplains, and today I'm going to be talking about bedside reporting. Somebody recently asked me, how do I do my bedside report? So I'm going to give it to y'all today. I will give you a disclaimer that I am going to do a bedside report on a ICU patient. Also, this is a fictional patient, a fictional diagnosis and history and what have you. So I'm going to give you the report. You're going to pretend like you're the receiving nurse receiving the report so you can see how I do this, and then of course I will break it down. You may hear in your clinical units that most nurses say, oh, they need their brain, their cardex, their report sheet. All of those mean the same things, and this is the basis or the blueprint of any nurse's report. Now, some nurses can give their report off the top of their head. They have great memory like that, but I don't want to miss anything, so this is what I use. I've been using this report sheet since I began my ICU residency, because actually one of the first critiques I got in my ICU residency was, please give me a report from head to toe. I had started blabbering stuff off of cardex that I had used on my med-surg unit. I was a med-surg nurse for the first year. So I would be like, oh, they have 2 IVs in the right forearm. They're getting the blood sugars, ACNHS. Like, I was just all over the place. So that nurse's critique to me was, hey, can you start giving us the bedside report from head to toe? So I'm going to show you how I do that now. Ever since that critique, my preceptor gave me his report sheet, which he utilized, and I've been using it ever since. This is Mr. White. He is a 68-year-old male. He's a full code, allergic to penicillin. He has a history of diabetes, hypertension, and COPD. He initially came to us about 4 days ago with chief complaint of abdominal pain, as well as he was vomiting blood. When he arrived to the ER, they did some workup and they found him to be septic as well as a GI bleed. His hemoglobin was 4.6. He received 4 units of blood in the ED as well as into the ICU. He had an EGD done and they found 3 sites. Since then, he's been doing well. He's been off pressors for 2 days and his hemoglobin is stable this morning at 8. And he is currently on IV antibiotics. He's been followed by GI, ID, as well as pulmonary. So as you see in the beginning snapshot, I basically broke down what brought the patient here, what we did for the patient, as well as what you need to save his or her life, okay? So that's the code status. Are they full code? Are they limited code? That's very, very important. So that's what you want to talk about in the beginning of your report. Now I'm going to go into the systems head to toe, okay? So he is sedated on fentanyl and Versed. We did try to do a SAT this morning. He did not tolerate it. He was very anxious. Blood pressure was elevated. His heart rate was in the 130s. He was not following any commands. He was stacking his breaths. He was tachypnic as well. So we did restart his sedation. He is now on 3 of Versed and 100 of fentanyl. We will try to do another SAT, SBT tomorrow morning. And the doc was talking about possibly bridging him to Precedex and see how he does with that. He is sinus rhythm on the monitor, normotensive. When he was having that anxiety episode during the spontaneous breathing trial, his heart rate was in the 130s, but he was just sinus tachycardia at the time. And he was hypertensive in the 180s. Even after we returned to sedation and turned him back on the ventilator, his blood pressure was still elevated, so I did give him a PRN dose of hydralazine, which you can have if his systolic is greater than 160. Right now, like I said, we put him back on the ventilator around 9 o'clock this morning. He is on ACVC, tidal volume 500, rate of 16, PEPA 5, and 35%. He is no longer on a Protonix drip. He's now getting Protonix IV push, BID. His Protonix drip was discontinued this morning by GI. We did start trickle feeds on him. He has an OG2, Osmolite 1.2 at 20 cc's an hour with a goal of 45. We did start these feeds today at 4, so you will increase it at 8 p.m. tonight and see how he tolerates. He is tolerating as of now. He did have a bowel movement this morning. It was brown and mushy. No signs of bleeding at all. He has a Foley in. He puts out about 70 to 95 an hour. He has IVs. He has a PIC in the left upper arm and a 20 gauge to the right forearm. Like I said, he's just getting his fentanyl and Versed for his IV drips, and that's about it. I did have to replace his lights this morning. His potassium was 3.3, so he got 20 milliequivalents of potassium. Everything else was unremarkable, and he will have routine labs tomorrow. When I repeated the potassium after giving him the 20 milliequivalents, it did come up to 3.9. Mom is his point of contact. She did call this morning. I did update her. Do you have any other questions at this time? Okay, so the plan is to do another SAT, SPT tomorrow, see how he's tolerating these feeds. So that's how I do my report. If you like this report sheet that I went over here, you can grab that on my website. It's free. But like I said, you can like make your own. Some nurses just get a blank sheet of paper and just start writing away what other nurses are reporting to them. But the main thing is that you want to make sure that you're thorough. You want to make sure that that nurse that is receiving the report can walk away and feel like they can still take care of that patient if something were to happen immediately, okay? Because healthcare is unpredictable. You might not have time to go down, sit down and look through the chart and, you know what I'm saying, look at the progress notes, look at the labs and things like that. But if you receive a thorough report or give a thorough report, that nurse can walk away feel like they can still take care of them. Because the report that I just gave you about this patient, you know where his lines are. You know that he has lines. You know that he's a full code. You know why he came here. You know, point of contact. I told you which doctors is following him. So even though I didn't go into every single lab or every minute detail, you still got all the pertinent information. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know any stories that you have about your bedside report, or if you're struggling with it, just send me an email or a comment down below.